Hello and welcome back to another video. So today I have the Abarth 500e, finished in poison blue, which looks very striking on a dull day like today. But don't worry, because it's not just a day review. I'm going to have the car for an entire week and bring you along and show you what it's like in my life as an automotive creator with work, leisure and pleasure. So I'll show you around the car quickly, exterior and interior, and then throughout the week I'll show you what I get up to and my overall thoughts on the car. Right, so starting with the side of the car, one thing I love straight away is the 18-inch alloys. I think they look so nice, and I don't think I've seen this kind of design on an Abarth before at all. So to have that kind of like zigzaggy look looks mega. And obviously with the Scorpion logo in the centre cap alongside the Scorpion on the side, but as you may notice, slightly different, a little bolt to give it that electric feel. And if we continue with the electrics, nowhere to put petrol. Of course you have a fast charger and a standard charger, which we'll talk about later on in the video. But yeah, overall, we've obviously got 500 logo here, 500e, which comes standard on a normal 500e. And you may notice it's a soft top. So hopefully, perfect timing, the sun's come out, we'll be able to get the roof down too to listen to all that magnificent noise. Right, so the back of the car, not too much to say really, because obviously usually the rear of the car, the most standout part is the exhausts of the Abarths. They're obviously very well known for being very noisy, but this one's obviously EV, so it has none of that. It does however have reverse camera, Abarth logo, and obviously the soft top gives it kind of like a more sleek look than a standard cabriolet would, where you've just got kind of paint all over the top. So it does tie in quite nicely, and I don't know if it was intentionally done, but the rear lights actually look like the shape of an E. Maybe someone will let me know. So finishing up with the front of the car, we've got the Abarth badge and written logo. No grille. Don't know how I feel about it in general, because obviously usually that's your cooling system, but obviously with these you don't need a cooling system. So to have it painted blue doesn't look terrible with this colour, but I think potentially with different options and specs it might look a bit odd. And then up here is nice, so you've got this that kind of ties in with the wing mirrors and that kind of satin silver / grey look. It's like kind of brushed finish. But overall I think the front looks really, really nice. Really mean, aggressive, and actually from the angle that you're seeing from what I've just set up, I think the car looks amazing. So in terms of the visualisation of this car, I think Abarth have done an excellent job. But let's take you inside and see if that continues throughout the interior. So, moving on to the interior. Straight away, I love it. It's got lots of Alcantara, lots of lovely finished leather, a nice blue and yellow stitching to match the launch colours of the car, and the seats. I love the seats. You've got a Scorpion pattern all the way up through the centre, a Abarth logo and Scorpion at the top, and not too much leather or Alcantara. It's a really nice match of both. Steering wheel wise, Alcantara, lovely and comfortable, brilliant size, but Abarth have never had problems with that. I think the way they kind of do that is perfect. In front of you, you've obviously got your display where you have all your speed, monitor, battery power, etc. And then you have a Android and CarPlay set up with a nice big screen, plenty big enough for anyone, as well as a JBL sound system. So obviously the car's EV, so there's no sound coming from the car, but the sound inside the car should be brilliant. One thing I don't like, the buttons. I think they look a little bit cheap, and obviously they're exactly the same as what you get in a 500e, so that's probably the only thing that hasn't changed at all. But I guess when that setup works and everyone knows what PRND stand for, there's no point of really changing that. There are 3 different driving elements, which we'll get onto later, but one thing I have to mention, and I'm over the moon about, there's no 500 logo. Oh, it's a dream. I've said so many times in previous videos they just have to remove it, and they've finally done it, and it's a nice sleek Alcantara look to match the exterior and interior of the car really nicely, and it's just, it's amazing to have that out. It's just so much better than having a 500 logo that's completely unnecessary, and instead you've got an overload of Abarth logos, which is how it should be. So let's get this on the road and see how I get on throughout the week, and get on with the rest of the video. So, one thing to point out quickly is the fact that we don't have a home charging point. Obviously, not owning an electric car, it's not necessary for us. So I am using public charging points all week. So it's going to be interesting to see how much that costs. Unfortunately, I won't be able to compare it to what it would cost if it was home charged. But obviously the way I'm using it, I will have to charge it kind of on the go as and when, where I am. So also to see what kind of range and things we get between me doing work and charging to make sure I've got enough charge for the whole day. So just walking over to the car now. See it in the distance. Luckily it's literally only a stone throw away from the house. So not a big trek, and it's not cold this morning either, so it's not a nightmare to get to, but the windscreen's definitely going to need a defog. But let's get on the road to get to work. Right, so before we get on the road, I've set my sat-nav to my first shoot this morning, and the first car is a Lamborghini Huracan Performante. It's about an hour away, and I think it's the furthest I'm going to be travelling today from home. So in terms of range, an hour should be fine. I think it's about 50 miles. My full charge at 100% is saying 139. So it's a lot of motorway driving today, admittedly. So obviously not really what this car's built for, but we'll have to see how that mile range kind of suits like the motorway distance and see how much it drops throughout the day. Obviously, of course, I don't expect to get 139 miles using it on the motorway, but it'll be good to compare what we do get, and hopefully I won't have to charge it before I get back, because then it might slow down my day and also interrupt with my schedule of photo shoots. So I'll get my map sorted out on Android Auto and get on the road. So first shoot of the morning. Always a nice way to wake yourself up. It's nice to hear a proper engine after being in an EV, I'm not gonna lie.
Coming off the exit, make a left. Been in blocks, this shit Tetris. Yeah, well, okay, these niggas want my necklace. Yeah, well, okay, these bitches want my necklace. Yeah, well, coming off the exit, make a right. Been in blocks, this shit Tetris. Yeah, well, okay, these bitches want my necklace. Yeah, well, okay, these niggas want my necklace. Broke my heart, the nigga chain stop. Broke my heart, my family for rock, I'm from the north side. Yeah, whoa. 20 minutes, that's a short ride. Light shit. Take the 848, that's a no stop. Lost a couple niggas putting pain in. Dark complexion chick, she let me tape it. Bad bitch. Riding fast in hood, making statements.
So, my next shoot is 15 minutes away. First shoot went really well. Got it done in good time, including the B-roll stuff, which I obviously don't usually film or have the time to get. So hopefully you enjoyed that little segment. I'm on to Brands Hatch area next to photograph a car in storage that way for a chap that I photographed a couple of very nice cars for, including a Testarossa single mirror and a very nice BMW M3. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next car to photograph today. I know it's a Ferrari, but I'm not sure the exact model. I may not get as many B-roll clips, etc. today due to kind of owner privacy, and obviously it being a storage location, I don't want to kind of ruin the privacy and security of that kind of side of things. So we'll see how we get on. But if not, you'll see me on my way to the shoot after that, which is towards Maidstone for a caterum. And I love photographing caterums, as you know. I'm very familiar with the cars, so it'd be good to see that. And I might be able to get the roof off on this later, which is nice. It'd be quite ironic if the next car's convertible as well, because then it'll be a full day of cars with the option of no roof. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the sun. Surely the jumper won't stay on for too much longer. And let's get down to Brands Hatch. Second shoot complete. As I did warn, not as much B-roll, but hopefully enough to satisfy you and see what car I shot. onto my final shoot now, which is a 30-minute drive. I'm actually half an hour early, but I'm going to give the owner a call and see if he's kind of ready for me, or whether I need to delay my arrival and perhaps get something to eat. If not, I think I have to get something to eat on the way back and potentially put the car on charge, as we're at 52%. It's saying 67 miles. I've literally probably got about 57 miles, including the shoot and to get home, so I don't think I'm going to trust it. I think I'm going to try and find a fast charger somewhere, potentially at services, grab something to eat, just stop and like kind of relax for a bit, and then get back on the road later this afternoon. So it's currently 11:30 and my shoot's for 12. So we'll see how it goes, and I should be finished up by about 1:30 and then home for about 3 o'clock to do my editing. So I won't bore you with that side of things. I won't film my editing, you don't have to see that. But the cars will all be up on Collecting Cars either when this video is up, or they might have already sold. There we go, all finished. Again, I didn't want to be too rude and take too much of the owner's time for this shoot, so not as much B-roll, but hopefully enough. I've just got now to figure out whether I chance the 40 miles I've got to get home on a 60-mile range, or if I stop and do a fast charge back to 80% before heading back and grabbing some lunch. And I think that's going to be the more sensible option. So I'm going to head to Maidstone services, get myself some lunch, put it on charge for 20 minutes or so, and then make my way back. I probably should have brought my laptop to make a start on the editing, but a bit of rookie error there. What I am going to do, however, is get the roof down, because I've only got a kind of 10 or 15 minute drive to the service station, so we can test it with the sunshine out with the roof all the way down. Right, so 86% charge now. It cost me £13.50, but I've been charging it for 22 minutes and it's put me up to 111 miles. So it's doubled the amount of mileage basically that it had in the space of 20 minutes. And I'm back on the road. Didn't have to like wait any longer or take longer to eat my lunch. One thing I completely forgot to mention, the shoot that I did of the Ferrari, so my second shoot of the day, obviously it was in a storage unit. There were some lovely cars there, lots of Ferrari Daytonas and all those kind of things, but there was one car that stood out to me that I had to ask to get a few photos of, which I'll put in now, of a Lotus Esprit Series 1 Bond Edition with the skis, completely original, not a replica or anything. And it was just mega, so cool. Like the tyre writing, deep dish rear wheels, the gold rim, really just stupid amount of leather on the interior, and of course the skis that are actually fixed to the roof, which is, I just think, is the coolest thing ever. I don't think you'd ever be able to get away with doing that to a modern car, which is always what makes it so much more special. But yeah, just thought I'd fill you in with that because I completely forgot about it. I think I was so shell shocked myself that I forgot to tell you that I'd seen it. Morning.
So I finally made an appearance in his week.
Yeah, Charlotte does still exist.
We do still live together.
But yeah, we're just on our way to Garage 28 this morning for Cars and Coffee event. Sun's out.
Yeah.
Makes a nice change. And the turnout of cars should be quite good. I've heard it's going to be quite busy today. And it always gets quite busy there. It's always quite difficult to photograph, but we do our best.
Yeah.
But we're going to bring you along today. We might get up to something leisurely this afternoon. Potentially going for a barbecue this evening with a few family and friends.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So that should be good. Hopefully the weather stays warm and we don't end up looking like plonkers with a convertible and no sleeves.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you at Garage 28. So there we have it. My time with the car has come to an end. I've actually enjoyed this car more than I thought I would, in terms of its kind of practicality and the charging not being too much of an issue around what I've done this week. It's surprised me. I would say that it's definitely been the most cost efficient car I've had as a press car. Obviously not having to put fuel in is a brilliant way to save money, but in terms of having to charge outside of my own home, obviously using public chargers, including fast chargers, kind of slow chargers and overnight charging, it's been a bit of a pain, but not too much that I haven't been able to live with it, so I guess you could say that's a success. In terms of its looks, I've already said at the start that I do really love how it looks, and that hasn't really changed. My opinion hasn't changed much on that. I think the back's a bit boring without having exhaust, but obviously with an EV you're never going to be able to expect that. Interior wise, love it. So comfortable, brilliant audio, and yeah, overall just a really nice place to be, really comfortable, just a brilliant seating position and everything. So not really a bad word to say about the car itself, but I think that's when we have to touch on the topic of its branding. Obviously it's an Abarth, and as an Abarth you would expect it to have a lot of sound, be quite an aggressive car, and also be a hot hatch. And I don't think you can call this a hot hatch or even give it the Abarth branding without all those kind of like personal statements that an Abarth usually has. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you the sounds that I've refused to have on for the entire video because of the dislike I had to it completely from the start. But let me just turn it on for you. Alright, so here we go. So there's a little display on the dash. You go on electric features and then external sound. Are you ready? Especially proper Abarth anyway. It's almost like just a general car sound. It's almost like there's that thing with car movies where they always use the wrong engine sounds or exhaust sounds for specific cars because you moan that the editors don't know what they're doing properly. And it's almost like they've given this to someone that doesn't know what an Abarth sounds like and just gone, right, can you just put a generic audio for a car to have a exhaust sound out the back of the the speaker, not even the exhaust. But anyway, that's the only negative thing that I've definitely got that I just hate about the car. But in terms of the car itself, I think it's brilliant. As an EV, I think it's really good. Obviously, it's basically a city-focused car, so I can't see anything wrong with this being in the city. Obviously, I've used it this week for trips of kind of like 50 to 100 miles, and even with like having to fast charge it and stuff, it still hasn't been a pain. The price point, however, around £38,000 for one of these, is a bit harsh. I think it's quite steep in terms of the thought you can get a true Abarth with an engine and a nice sounding exhaust that's not fake for less than that, even with like delivery mileage and probably your ideal spec. It's probably the only thing that puts me off this car. I think if this was made by any other manufacturer and there wasn't kind of a heritage behind it and all its kind of body styling and stuff like that, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. It's a cool little car. But as an Abarth, I just can't fall in love with it. I can't enjoy it in that way that I should do. And I think that for me is kind of enough for me to say that I wouldn't have one. It's a shame really, because I've had bad EV experiences in the past and this has definitely changed my mind on them a little bit, but I still don't see how it can match its price point. So unfortunately, I think that's going to have to end the video. Obviously do focus on the positives rather than negatives if you're looking to buy one, because obviously I'm a petrol head at heart, so I'm never going to be completely fond of an EV. However, please like and subscribe, and thank you for making it this far in the video if you have, and I'll see you again soon. See you later.